Hello everyone and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be working, or I am going to be working on Clue 8 of Cotton Cut's Tree of Life. I did finally get this in earlier this week. For Clue 8, we will be making 8 of the same block. That is the block I will be making. I will be making 8 of them. I'm not going to be making 8 of them on camera with you guys. I will carry you through them. I have all of my fabrics laid out here in my box. And what I will be doing is I will probably make just half of them on camera with you guys. And then the other ones I'll make off camera, but I'll show them all to you. So in our package this month, we got our Cotton Cuts Block of the Month, which I love getting that. One day I'm going to get all of my Block of the Months, and I'm probably going to make them into a big quilt. Maybe one day. So let's just get started, and I hope you guys are having this is going to, when you see this, it's going to be the start of your weekend. So, I'm just going to grab all of my fabrics here that I need for each block and just start sewing. And we can chit chat and y'all can sew along on whatever you need to do, or you can watch me sew and possibly listen to my kitty cats talk to me, because I have one of them in here with me tonight. Now, I have tested one of these blocks already. I kind of have learned my lesson with sewing a block that I have not tested or sewn before. So I have already sewn one block and it turned out very nicely. Everything worked out fine, which y'all, with Cotton Cuts, if you don't know about Cotton Cuts, this is the Tree of Life. Currently, they have the Wild West going on. Cotton Cuts is, you can either pay for it all up front or monthly. This one here is the large Tree of Life. So I am paying for this one monthly. When you pay for it monthly, you get a package in the mail every month. That package will look like this. And it's just a small envelope. And in that envelope is all the pieces for your clue that month. Everything is pre-cut for you. All you have to do is sew it. And I find that fabulous. The only thing with Cotton Cuts, you have to pick your colorway. And they do the rest for you. Well, they don't sew it for you. They send it to you so you can sew your own clues. But I'm thinking it is just amazing to get all these cut, because that's one of the things I really don't like to do, is to cut the fabric. And this way, when you get it in, you can just sit down and just sew and not have to worry about all the rest of it. You don't even have to pick the pattern. They've already picked it out for you. They've already picked out how the colors need to go. All you have to do is sew them. That's it. And it's if you follow their instructions, it comes out. So far, I've never had to trim a block, and I sew right on that 1/4 of an inch seam, and I never have to trim anything. And my end block, it always seems to come out how it's supposed to. Now, when sewing, I do press each section. Now, there may be some that I don't, but this one right here, I do have to press each section. So, I will be back as soon as I press. Now, when I press my pieces, I do a finger press on it, and then I will just set my iron down on it and let it press it. And okay, and you may see that I'm doing this. Well, you can't see anything. This is upside down. I'm not sewing on the top of it because when I do that, it puts a bulky seam at the beginning. And for some reason, this fabric does not like to pull through. So I just turn it upside down and sew it because I don't want it to stretch that fabric. Now, my process that I've got going when I do my pressing is I will just lay my iron on one and let it press it out. And it only takes a couple seconds. And while it's taking them couple seconds, what I'm doing is finger pressing my next piece to press. And now I did that other block and it seemed to went really quickly. So I'm hoping I can get this part done for you guys really quickly. And that way you can watch how it's done. Now I know I don't have you right on it, but I don't have the setup for that yet. My biggest thing would be I wouldn't know how to get all of it on my cell phone because I'd use the Android YouTube Studio. I think it's in beta. You can't get it on the computer. And it's a really easy editing program. And I edit out when I press, so you guys don't come along for that. Otherwise, I could have my camera down on this where y'all could see it. I'm going to have to get with Tammy. She's got a great setup on hers and find out how she does all of her editing too, because, well, she really don't do editing, I don't guess. She does lives. If y'all don't know who I'm talking about when I say Tammy, she is the Siberian Wind. That's her YouTube channel. And she does lives where she sews, and she even does free classes right now. She today had y'all know today is Thursday. She had a bobble class today. And I need to catch it on the replay because I was sitting at the dealership. My vehicle had a recall on it, and I carried it to have the recall fixed and went on and had my vehicle serviced. But I was sitting at the dealership when she was doing the class. Okay, I got these 4 completed. Now, each of these, there's like 4 different steps to make this block. So I'm going to make all of the steps before I make the blocks. I'm having to watch my letters. I have my little colorway card here. I am #Team Woodland. This fabric is Horizon by Pippa's Shawl for Figo Fabrics. And I use this as my guide as to which fabric I grab instead of putting all my letters on them all, because this is just quicker and easier, and then I don't have to put letters away. So what I'm going to do is do the 4 sets and then put them together. I think it'll work quicker if I do it that way, because I do, like on these pieces right here, I do have to press because they're like a, what's it called, a flying geese. It's like a flying geese. And the first piece needs to be pressed out, so when you put that second piece on there, it's not, it's pressed good, so it makes a nice point on it. And I always sew from the bottom of the flying geese to the top of the flying geese. I just do. I always have. To me, it's just always simpler to do it that way. I don't know why. I have no rhyme or reason why I do it. It just seems easiest for me to do it that way. So that is the way I do it. And I start on the left side first. I don't start on the right side. I start on the left side. We're just getting these put together. So guys, are y'all getting ready for National Sew a Jelly Roll Day? That is tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock a.m. Central Time, because it's 10 o'clock Eastern. I'm pretty certain that Donnell is Eastern Time. I think that's what she had told me in her email. And I am going to be sewing a jelly roll on the live with her. If I sew at all, I don't know. Sometimes I know I've seen where she just gets into conversations with people, and it's not a lot of sewing going on, but that's okay with me too, because I like to talk. But I'm really excited and looking forward to being on the live with Donnell. I know we're going to have a great time. Okay, I'm doing something wrong here. That's what I'm doing wrong. I was putting my piece on wrong, y'all. That's when I have to start paying attention more and talk less. But I will, even if I do not sew on the live, I may do some sewing, but I will have a video come out probably before the live. I am not exactly sure. It may be before the live or after the live. I haven't really decided. I know I normally release my videos at 9 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. And Saturday I may release it early. I may release it later. I'm not real sure. Y'all leave in the comments what y'all would like to see. If y'all would like to see it earlier or later. Because I can always change it before Saturday morning. You know, Saturday morning rolls around and it releases whenever it releases. But I have a beautiful jelly roll that I want to sew for you guys. I actually have two. I've chosen two patterns. One for the live and one for a video for you guys. And very excited about it. They're both beautiful patterns. One is, I believe, a paid for pattern. And one is not. I can't remember. Y'all, my kitty cat's over here wanting pittance. I can't remember which one is. And I will look it up, though, before I have it go live. You know, before I have my video go live. We have our second set of flying geese completed. So now we're going to our third set of flying geese. Can't remember what I was talking about before I started pressing. So I'll just start off somewhere here. Yeah, I had pulled enough to do the 4 squares and put in my bin, so I didn't get confused on it. Because I think doing 4 of them is quite a few, enough. Not that you can see what I'm going to do, or what I'm doing. But one day I will have it where y'all can see everything I'm doing. I will have a better setup on this. Right now I record on my cell phone and it seems to work perfectly fine. I am a person that does not have to have all the latest and greatest when it comes to technology. I know it doesn't look like it. My husband keeps trying to get me keeps trying to get me to get another cell phone, and I just won't do it. I just will not do it. I figure mine works perfectly fine. Why would I need to get another one? You know, I think I got plenty of stuff going on. I've got a lot more things going on than I have time, so. But I am a person that, you know, like I said, I don't require all the latest and greatest technology. But I'm guessing if I want to bring you guys better content, that I probably need to learn stuff like that. I'm just not really into all of that. I bet it would make it easier for y'all to see what's going on my table here. I'm hoping to attempt that on Saturday, but I won't be recording, so that'll make a difference. I'm hoping to bring my tablet along where y'all can see if I'm sewing. You can see what I'm sewing if I do that. I haven't decided yet. But it seems like this is going to go fairly quickly. Looks like we're only 24 minutes in, y'all. And I am actually on the last step. Well, next to last step. They actually show this being done in 2 separate units. How you take all of your flying geese and put all your flying geese together to make a unit. And then you take just your squares to make a unit. And you'll see those squares here in just a second, because I'm going to press this and we're going to make those squares. Now I have my 3rd flying geese set done. So now we're going to get onto our squares. Now, I'm laying them here in the order that I need to sew them. And when you see what I do, you're going to be, no wonder it's going so quick. This is a very quick pattern. Now, if I made all 8 of them, it might take about double the time. I don't know that it would take double the time, because instead of sewing 4, I would be sewing 8 all at the same time. The biggest part of this is when you have to press, but when I press, I lay them all out, spray them all at one time, and then press one finger, press the other, and then move the heat over. So guys, this is a quick thing. I've been trying to think if there's anything going on anytime soon in our area. I believe it's November. I think we have our local quilt shop is doing a quilt show, I believe. Again, this will be the 2nd year they do it, which I do not have a quilt in it. I don't even know when the deadline to get quilts done is. I don't know. I'll have to decide if I want to do it or not. Find out what the requirements are. If there are any, well, I'm sure there's requirements. It is like a quilt show. It is a quilt show, but it's just not one. Well, I mean, you do kind of get judged, but you don't. Well, you do, but that's what I need to find out, is what are the requirements to do that. It's a small quilt show, so it's not like held by the guild or anything. So it might be good practice for me to get into that, because I am wanting to do a quilt for a quilt show. I'm wanting to get that experience to find out the ins and outs. One of the things that I have seen, because I've watched some videos on what to expect for a quilt show, what some of the requirements are. Like, one of them is you have to hand bind your quilt. Well, I may have to pay somebody to hand bind, because I don't know that I could do that. And it's not that I don't know that if I have that skill level or not, is I don't know that my hands will allow me to do that, because a quilt is pretty heavy. Now, yes, I cross stitch, but a quilt and a cross stitch are completely different, because a quilt, you're going to have heaviness, and you know, you're going to have high accuracy to do that. But I don't know, you know, I'm looking at it. I'm going to consider it I do need to find out what I would need to do. I do know my quilt would need a label on the back, and y'all, I have been so bad about labeling. I haven't labeled a single quilt. I have one that I'm going to be given as a gift in a couple months, and I had a special label ordered, and it got canceled on me, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I may be able to do it myself, but I've got to learn how to do labels on my machine. My machine will embroidery. It'll do all those things, but I haven't taken the time to learn it. And I may just have to take some time to do that. Now, y'all see these? This is all they are. I just put 3 squares together. Now I'm going to press them and be right back. Okay, so now I have my 4 pieces completed. And the instructions show to sew this unit first and then to piece those together. But I think piecing them all at the same time is a lot easier, overall quicker. So now what I'm going to do is start piecing that first set, or the first unit of the block. And y'all, this does make a beautiful block. It's very beautiful. But I love these colors, so it would be hard pressed to not love a block made with these colors. So I'm going to do the first 2 of the block, of all 4 blocks, and then I will press them out after I put that 3rd piece on them, because I have to have them pressed out to add the 4th piece onto them. And these first 2 do not have seams that have to nest, but you do have to remember in that flying geese, when you sew together, you have a point that you don't want to cut off. But I have found with cotton cuts, if you stay on that 1/4 of an inch, I don't even do a scant 1/4. I do a full 1/4 inch, and it seems to work out nicely every time. And yeah, this is how quick it goes. Just imagine if I was doing 8 of them, it still wouldn't take much more time. Just watching that 1/4 of an inch there, making sure I'm on it. I watched that point. So now what I'm going to do is cut these apart and then add the 4th piece to them. And then I'll press after that. But y'all, let's see. We're in 37 minutes. 37 minutes. And if you really wanted to, we could double that time, you know. Just say it took us double the time to do all 8. Now, this right here, you do have 2 seams that I'm not going to necessarily say nest, but they do line up. So what I do is I line them up, and I'm going to get them on the machine, get a stitch in there, and then focus on this and down here, and then get it. And this right here is the hardest part of the whole thing, is getting, since the seams are pressed the same direction, this is the hardest part, is getting these 2 seams together. Sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. Am I going to worry about it? No, not really. Sometimes you have to give it a little tug back there too, because it's a pretty thick seam there that it's going through. I've noticed I've had to, you know, kind of tug at At the beginning, I've kind of had to tug the one before it just to kind of help it pull it through. I don't like doing that because I'm scared it's going to stretch my fabrics, and I don't want to do that. But, you know, you got to give it what help you can give it sometimes. And for my new viewers, thank you for coming. I am not a perfect quilter. I'm a fly by the seat of my britches kind of quilter. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. But in the end, I've got a quilt or a finished project that I think is beautiful. Others may not, but you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and to me, anything that I've crafted or anyone else has crafted is beautiful. Okay, I am going to press this and be right back, guys. I now have my first part of this unit done. So the next step, I will have to pin this. We take that strip that we made and put it on the left side of the block. So I will have to pin this. There are some seams that nest, and I just make sure I match them seams up real good. And y'all, this is literally the last step, you know, other than pressing the block out, of making clue number 8. I hope you guys come and join us tomorrow for National Sew a Jelly Roll Day. I know I've already mentioned it, but it's so exciting, you sometimes just have to mention it a second time. And if you are interested in joining us on a Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt, there will be a link down in my description for Cotton Cuts. I keep seeing that they keep posting, or I don't know if they're doing it, but I do keep seeing postings about colorways. It looks like there are still some colorways available. I don't know if, I don't know how that works this late in the game for the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. If you want to join us, you may go check it out. May not be able to join in the Wild West, but you may be able to join the next one coming up, which I'm not sure when that one will be. This is my third Puzzle Mystery Quilt to do with Cotton Cuts. The first one I did was the Carnival. The second one I did is this, the Tree of Life, and I am doing the Wild West also. Now, the Tree of Life, of course, you cannot get into the Tree of Life because we're almost done with it. But you may still have a chance to get in on the Wild West. If you, like I said, if you want to, go in and check it out. The link is down in the description. We would love to have you join us on this. I see so many people that get it, and I do want to say a lot of people I've seen in, I think it's on Cotton Cuts group on Facebook, saying they haven't received their clue yet. I think, now I'm just going to say, please be patient. I think the hurricane might have slowed down the delivery services, because I know mine came late as well. I live in Louisiana, so that's not surprising. But our mail service here, it never surprises me if my mail is late. I have had where I've received notice that I should receive the package that day, and then when I go check the tracking on it, it's in a completely different post office. You know, I don't understand it. But luckily, the other post that I've had that happen is close to where I work. But that's not the post office that delivers to my house. The one that delivers to my house is a complete hour the other direction. So, but luckily, like I said, it's close to where I work. And I've gone to that post office. And it's somebody I know is the postmaster there, which I'm so happy about. And she told me it's not unusual for them to get a whole bag that goes to the post office that mine should go to. And just so you know, the post office that is on my description is not the post office that my mail comes out of. It's just an easier one for me to get to. When I get off work, I pass right by it. Or I could pass right by it. I don't normally. I normally take a different route home than going that direction. But let me get these pressed and I will show you what this block looks like. Alrighty, y'all. I have my 4 blocks completed. This is clue number 8 of the Tree of Life. I am, as I said, hashtag Team Woodland. So guys, this is great. I love this. This is getting it done very quickly. And we're right at an hour almost now. And guys, if you've not yet given me a thumbs up and you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Goodbye.